What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, and we are doing the finale of the Toronto Huskies. Obviously, we won the Super Bowl in the last episode, but to round it up to a perfect 30, I figure maybe we won't go, with the Eagles when we finish that one. We went 10 years into the future, and then we did, I think, 17 total years of simulation with Carson Wentz. To play it a little bit more conservative, I want to just go for the near future. So we're going to do 5 more years just simulating through and seeing how the core of this Toronto Huskies team tries to build upon a Super Bowl, I don't know what the number would be, Super Bowl Dallas, which is where it was, title win. So we were 9-7, obviously we beat the Saints in the Super Bowl finale 28-3. This defense seemingly turned a new leaf. So let's see what happens, guys, where we simulate 5 more years. We'll stop at the season end of each season and where we can get it. I think we should be able to get at least one more Super Bowl win within next 5 seasons. But without further ado, let's sim right ahead and see what happens after year number 1. Now, as we enter the first year of our 5-year continuation simulation, wow, it rhymes. We're starting out with a crazy draft class. Didn't spend much money at all. More so, we kept our money in-house and retaining. We did not lose a single player from our Super Bowl run. But look at our rookies. We got Tyson Branson, a safety in the second round, 76 overall, 75 overall fullback, 77 overall right guard, 72 overall tight end, 72 overall running back, just to lead the charge. Once again, man, another strong draft class, baby. But our roster is mainly intact. We'll get a quick look here at the depth chart as we look. I think we're ready to go and repeat. We got Sam Darnold, Fournette, Allen Robinson, Richie James Robertson leading the line. Offensive line is looking real solid. No one below a B grade. Fedorowicz, 88 overall tight end. On the defensive side of things, Stings are still looking pretty sick, even though our worst grade here is a C for middle linebacker. Smith was debatably our best player and most influential player throughout our playoff run. Without further ado, guys, we're going to sim all the way to the Super Bowl and see what happens in year 9. All right, here we are at the year number 1, and it looks like we did not make the Super Bowl. Do we at least make the playoffs? Okay, well, 8-8, won the AFC South, so definitely a down year for the AFC South. At least we won it. Looking at the team schedule here. Ooh. In the postseason, we beat the Chargers. You beat the Chargers this sim, you pretty much won the Super Bowl anyways. And then we lost to the Bengals in the divisional round, but at least I'll take a AFC South divisional title to add to our record sheet. And we still got 4 more years to go to try to get another Super Bowl title. Looking at the stats, 4,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 picks for Sam Darnold. Good year there. We got 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns for Fournette. So definitely a down year in terms of running the ball. 900 yards, 9 touchdowns for Demetrius Robinson. 1,308 from Allen Robinson. 746 and 4 from Fedorowicz. Almost 700 yards, 3 touchdowns for Richie James. And my God, we're using Leonard Fournette in the passing attack. On the defensive side of things, 129 tackles from Cam Smith, 117 from Mac Wilson. We got 13.5 sacks from Fowler, 12.5 from Easley, 11.5 from Shaq Barrett. David Onyemata, come on, man. You can do better than that. 2 picks for everyone. Definitely needed more turnovers. Defensively, looks like we struggled once again. We know what happens based off of the Super Bowl run. What happens when the team controls it versus when we control that defense. But another year in the books. Hopefully year 2 will be a little bit more successful. We'll pop right back in after the draft and free agency and see what's happening as we get ready for season number 2. All right, we're back, and as we get ready for year 2 of the 5-year post-Super Bowl simulation, able to, again, another year, spent all of our available funds to basically retain our free agents, which was Leonard Fournette. We lost our starting center, so now it's time for Light to stand up and be a beast. We couldn't sign them all, but when you have to spend money to bring back Leonard Fournette, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, Jared Davis costs us a lot, Harvey Clemens costs us a lot, and to retain Dom Easley, even though he's only a 76, coming off, what do you have, 10, 11 sacks last year, did not want to mess up with the core of my team. Looking at a look at our rookies here, getting ready. Not the best draft class, but still some solid players here. We got 70 overall running back again. Just continue to try to go best player available when it's there. A 71 overall safety. We got a 74 overall tight end. Still trying to find a legit backup behind Fedorowicz. I think Logan Kondo could be that for us. But outside of that, definitely not our strongest draft class. as we look in year 2 to try to at least make a serious push in the playoffs and get past the... And here we are at the finale of year 2 of our 5-year simulation, and we have made the Super Bowl once again. Super Bowl Tampa Bay taking on the 13-3 Dallas Cowgirls. Definitely a game I want to see us win. Let's just play the moments. Actually, let's not play the moments. I want it to be a sim. We'll jump into play the moments so we can commentate and narrate throughout this game. But it looks like everyone did well. 11-5, another AFC South championship. Looking at how Sam Darnold did, pretty much on par with how he performed last year. 4,400 passing yards, 31 touchdowns to 14 picks. The run game much improved, 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns from Leonard Fournette. Receiving 103 catches, 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns for AR-15 Allen Robinson. 900 yards, 6 touchdowns for Demetrius. 800 yards, 2 touchdowns for Fedorowicz. 705 from Richie. 405 from Fournette. And on the defensive side of things, another year where Cameron Smith tackle machine. 130 tackles, 110 for Mack Wilson. We also got 13 sacks from Fowler, 8 from Dom Easley. See, I knew bringing him back. 76 overall, still worth coming back. 6.5 from Barrett, 6 from Onyemata. And on interceptions, we got 4 from Ramsey, 3 from Jack Jones, 3 from Miles Jack, 3 from Harvey Clemens, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, sounding like some goddamn Morse code. Actually, no, we'll just sim it. We'll see what happens once we sim the Super Bowl. If we could come through. I don't know if I could actually check that out. So let's do this shit. Let's play the moments. Let's go right through. Very, very proud of my team. Always proud of my team. But we'll just do the simulation here. It means a lot right now. We won our first Super Bowl in Dallas. Now, why not beat Dallas to win our second Super Bowl title? Thinking back to when we performed this kind of style ending for the Philadelphia Eagles Connected Franchise Mode. We pretty much won the division every single year that we did for we won like the fucking NFC East for like 15 straight years. But that being said, we only had 2 Super Bowls, so we could equal that. We had 2 Super Bowls, multiple NFC championships. So it's like if Andy Reid actually could get the job done once in a while and still had the success. So we can equal that. Hopefully we can beat that. We still have 3 more years after this year to try to win 3 Super Bowls, create an actual dynasty. Although I do not like to say dynasty a lot during football video games. Makes me feel bad about NCAA. All right, here we go. Opening game. We'll go fast. Looks like our defense needs help. Dallas trying to get on the scoreboard first. We hold to a field goal, so it's a 3-0 ball game here. We're moving our way down the field. We're in the red zone. Touchdown, 7-3. Looks like another turnover there as we're now into the second quarter. Nothing going on right now. Dallas gets a touchdown to go ahead, 10-7. We're moving the ball here. Red zone. Kick the field goal to tie it up at a 10-10. Looks like Dallas is trying to score before the end of the half. Nothing happens. 17-10 Dallas in the third. We're moving the ball. We're trying to equalize. Third down. There we go. 17-17 ball game. Third down alert. We're in the fourth quarter here. A touchdown. There we go. 24-17. And our defense trying to stop Dallas from getting in and equalizing here. As they do. 24-24 ball game. Oh, we're in the field goal. 27-24. I don't like that. 2 minutes left on the clock. Dallas scores instantly. An automatic touchdown there for Dallas. Fourth down. We turned it over on downs as Dallas beats the Huskies in the Super Bowl 31-27. That was horrible. I feel disgusting playing that and having it come out as way it did. Fournette had a good day. Both quarterbacks went off, but you just saw that, man. Minute 56 did not feel good. Dallas was only down a field goal, and they scored an automatic touchdown. Probably something cheesy to fucking, I want to say Zeke. Probably a Zeke run, knowing that offensive line. But that offensive line's getting old, so this is kind of the end for Dallas. I wouldn't expect us to maybe see them in a rematch or something like that in the future. But there we go. We're going to have to spend some XP. Look to bounce back next season. As we got some goddamn achievement there. That's awesome. As we look forward to moving to year number 3 of the simulation and getting back to the Super Bowl and getting some goddamn... All right, we're back just as we're starting into season number 3. Team mainly remains intact, especially on the offensive side of things. We brought in a new fullback, an 80 overall. He was incredibly cheap, so I figured why not. Offensive line, they certainly are on the downswing, but still should be good enough to help us win some games. On the defense, we did lose Shaq Barrett, who was an absolute beast while we were playing, but we did replace him, reuniting long time. We did start this franchise as the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Yannick Ngakoue has returned, and an 81 overall defensive end. He's going to be looking to try and get to them double-digit sacks. Looking at our rookies, you know, not the hottest draft class, not the best one. Bust. Good center, though, hitting on a 76 overall center. We got 73 overall guard. So definitely, you know, on the offensive line where I do believe we need to get younger, we have significantly improved that position. So there you go, guys. Now let's sim to the end of season number 3 and see if not only we can make it back to the Super Bowl again, but actually win the goddamn. Here at the end of year number 3, looks like we fell short of making a run. Oh man, does not. When you see like your squad not having a bunch of pluses, you probably didn't do so hot. And on this year, what the fuck? Okay, 12-4, we won the AFC South, so yet another AFC South title to add. What the fuck happened? No, it was good form, I guess, at the end of the year, so we lost all that. 4,300 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 picks for Sam Darnold. We got 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns from Mr. Fournette, and the backup Errol Malloy here got 12. 94 catches, 1,300 yards, and 11 touchdowns for Allen Robinson as the most noteworthy of all of our wide receivers. Defensively, 129 tackles from Mack Wilson, 120 from Cam Smith. We got 11 sacks from Fowler, 11 from Ngakoue, so the newcomer Ngakoue having a very impressive debut season, or I guess reunited season with the Huskies. 4 picks, Jack Jones, 3 Beckwith, 3 Miles Jack, 2 Jalen Ramsey, and 1 for Mac Williams. MVP went to Ezekiel Elliott. Darnold came at number 7. We see Trubisky, Goff. I mean, all the new guys. Josh Allen. All the new guys are showing up here when they need to. I mean, a little disappointed the fact that we went 12-4. I think that's our highest final standings, and it doesn't look like we didn't make the goddamn Super Bowl. Let's look at the playoff schedule. What happened? So in the, we definitely had a first round bye. So we lost. We were 1 and done. We pulled a real life Dallas Cowboy and lost 28-24 against the Cincinnati Bengals in the divisional round for the AFC. That is incredibly disappointing. But, you know, onward and forward. Forward and onward, whatever the fuck that saying is. As we jump ahead into season number 4. Let's just flush this season out of the drain. Try to build upon the 12-4 regular season record and get back to that. But as we get ready to jump into season 4, we had a massive offseason acquisition. Most of our budget went into re-signing Sam Darnold, $105 million contract. But we had enough to scrape up after losing our starting center. We lost the starting center. We lost our starting right tackle. So when you give up some key pieces on the offensive line, it does free up a little bit of Skrilla. And what we were able to do was to sign Rashawn Gary. Everyone knows him from Michigan, one of the greatest talents in college football right now. And what we are going to do with Mr. Rashawn Gary is I'm going to make him a defensive tackle. He's 290 pounds, so it's a little bit undersized. And we're kind of getting back to what we struggled with early on when we were actually playing this, where all of our defensive tackles were primarily guys to get after the quarterback. And, you know, I don't want to say they're liabilities, but you could definitely say a little weak when it came to the run. So we're going to make Ngakoue, who got 11 sacks last year, still our defensive end. And our D tackles, we're going to move Gary, who's going to be a 90 overall at defensive tackle. Still with David Onyemata here, as we are looking to make a big push here to improve upon our 12-4 record in Season 4 and get ourselves back to that Super. All right, here we are at the end of year number 4. And when I first booted this up, I saw all these little news stories, Trey Wingo, Ross talking about us. I was like, what the fuck? We're not in the Super Bowl. So I'm actually kind of pissed off about this one because 12-4 once again, pretty much a repeat of last season. And when you look at the playoffs, a repeat of last season. Lost in the conference championship to the Bengals again. The Bengals have bumped us from the playoffs back-to-back seasons. Oh my god, we lost 28-21. Let's actually look at this shit. Darnold 3 touchdowns. They have Tyler Ward, a rookie quarterback, was able to fleece us. Well, we already know Giovanni Bernard is a freak of nature when it comes to the sim, as we saw in the Philadelphia Eagles connected franchise mode. But I mean, my god, I want to see something. I think they hyped almost 5 touchdowns in this game for Sam Darnold, just to make sure. 5, 6, 7, so 8 touchdowns, no picks. Our team still wasn't able to get the job done in here in year number 4, which is very, very frustrating. I mean, but we'll take a look here at our stats as we head into the final year that I will be progressing with this team. Sam Darnold, 4,000 passing yards, 32 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. Fournette with 1,500 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns, so a little bit plus from the year he had before. In terms of receiving, Demetrius Robinson, 105 catches, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. AR-15, 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns as well. 149 tackles from Mack Wilson, 127 from Cam Smith. So it looks like the defense was on the field quite a bit because of a high-scoring offense. 12 sacks from Onyemata, 11.5 from Dante Fowler, 9 from Ngakoue. Rashawn Gary only getting out to the quarterback twice for that 90 overall defensive tackle. We had 3 picks, Jack Jones, 2 Mack Wilson, and 2 for Miles Jack, who's been performing very, very well. But yeah, guys, we're going to head here to year number 5, all or nothing, I guess, as we're now the number 4 owner in terms of legacy. And at the end of year number 5, we will just do a final career stats as, you know, I guess hypothetically speaking, all these guys that we haven't really lost anyone big. Maybe Shaq Barrett on the defensive side of the ball probably would have some pretty impressive stats. We'll see if we can find him again. But obviously, you want to see after the year 5 before we jump to the stats. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating another Super Bowl win. So let's jump right into the final season of the All right, this is it as we are jumping into year number 5. Wasn't a whole lot of options in free agency. Oh, psych! So we had pretty much everyone locked in. No one really new on the offensive side. We're able to add here 86 overall guard that I think cost us $10 million. We got this guy for some reason was nothing. He cost like $7 million, 81 overall guard. He was actually a 78 guard that we moved into center, so we bumped him up to an 81 overall. We got Taylor Lewan here, who cost us cheap 1-year deal. So then we spent all of our funds. Look, we're minus in the funds right now. Jesus Christ, we're gonna get in shit. It's all or nothing. So we did like every every rebuild you guys saw in Madden 17, and we got Khalil Mack, who's a 95 overall, to see if that is going to be the trigger point for us to succeed here in year number 5. So we're going to send him all the way to the Super Bowl. Hopefully, we have one more opportunity, one more crack at it, as we now reach the finale of the Toronto Huskies. And here we are at the end of year number 5, and no Super Bowl. So the 5-year simulation, we made the Super Bowl once. We've gone, you know, we've won the AFC South 5 straight times, which is good, but not great. Kind of reminds me of my Philadelphia Eagles. Looking at the playoff schedule, the Super Bowl is Bills-Cardinals. Oh man. We lost to the Jets 38-24 in the divisional round, which is pretty damn disappointing. I mean, Casey Roy, the fuck? We had a trick play or something like that. Both quarterbacks didn't play great. The 3 touchdowns for Hamid McMillan. I guess that was the deal breaker. Could not stop the run, which, you know, we knew about that with Rashawn Gary, defensive tackle. That was going to be a little disappointing. But I would have liked at least one more Super Bowl run. So overall, we had 2 Super Bowl appearances with the Huskies. 5 AFC South titles. The year we won the Super Bowl, we didn't even win the AFC South. And that's it, man. I don't know. I think from the fact of where we started to where we are now, it's a great place to finish out. Sam Darnold on his final year, 4,100 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 12 picks. He's been a very good quarterback for us. Not Wentz level, but very good. Running the ball, Fournette, 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. The best running back, without a doubt, we have played with here in the Connected Franchise Mode series, plural, on Beast Mode TV. We got 10 touchdowns here from the backup. 102 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns for Robertson. He's been a tremendous pick. I'd probably put him in my top 5 wide receivers we've had. Allen Robinson, 93 catches, 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I might have to give Allen Robinson the nod over Jordan Matthews from our Philadelphia Eagles Connected Franchise Mode as the best wide receiver we have been able to use in our Connected Franchise Modes. On the defensive side of things, 135 tackles from Cam Smith, 126 from Mack Wilson. We got 15.5 sacks from Khalil Mack, 11.5 from Dante Fowler, 7.5 from David Onyemata. But we knew Dante Fowler was going to be good. Onyemata, he pretty much made this roster because he had some upside as a rookie, but more so he was Canadian, and he turned out to be excellent. I can't wait to look at his career stats in just 1 second to see where he finishes. For interceptions, we got 4 picks from Jalen Ramsey, 3 from Cam Smith, 1 from Miles Jack, and 1 from Jared Davis. So clearly we could have done better in the secondary. Looking at the final MVP, It went to Jake Browning, the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. And we have played Jake Browning before. We've got the better of him before. But hey, I guess Donald coming in here at number 6. So let's look here at the career stats of everyone that has been featured throughout this. Well, not everyone, but everyone that's still with us. Sam Darnold with 29,000 passing yards, 210 touchdowns, and 89 interceptions. So the interceptions are kind of high. Not near the same stat line that we had with Wentz. But obviously we played, I don't even know how many more years with Wentz. 6, 7, 10? I have no idea. We had 17 years with Wentz. So I guess, obviously, 9 more seasons at least for Sam Darnold to catch up. But, you know, he's not really going to show up on the record books. But for the Jags / Huskies, we'll just go by Huskies. Those are numbers that probably will never be equalized. Running the ball, Leonard Fournette, 11,000 rushing yards. He's only 8. He probably still has 2 more good seasons left in him. But as we're ending here, almost 12,000 rushing yards, 119 touchdowns. He probably has shown up on the all-time stats for the running back position, as we will check later. Allen Robinson with 837 catches, 13,000 receiving yards, and 95 touchdowns. Very good. Demetrius Robinson here, almost 600 catches. I mean, I think Demetrius Robinson, the way we keep going, probably could catch up, or at least challenge for the numbers that Allen Robinson pushed up, especially in the receptions category. He's had, what, 3 years, over 100 receptions, almost 6,000 receiving yards, and 44 touchdowns. Richie James was with us for quite some time. He was our first real draft steal out of any episode we did of Connected Franchise Mode here. Finished with 273 catches, almost 3,700 yards, and 29 touchdowns. Fournette got almost 3,000 more yards and 20 touchdowns to add to his number. So, I mean, we're at, what, 14,000 total yards, almost 140 total touchdowns for Leonard Fournette, and he's still probably going to go for a little bit. In terms of defense, we got, well, okay, we're not going to count Khalil Mack because he was definitely on the Raiders, but looking at our leading tackler, it is Cameron Smith, who started out as our backup with 788 tackles, 8.5 career sacks, and 7 interceptions. Mack Wilson, who's really good for us, 750 tackles, 11.5 sacks, 6 picks. Miles Jack, who really didn't do much as an outside linebacker, moving him to a free safety where he excelled, 700 tackles, 16 career interceptions for that. For Jalen Ramsey, almost 700 tackles, 27 interceptions. So 27 picks, that's more than we had in our Philadelphia Eagles Connected Franchise Mode with Marlon Humphrey or Jalen Mills. I think Humphrey had 26. I think literally that might be one more. Harvey Clemens, 700 tackles, 6 picks. Dante Fowler, okay, let's look at the sacks here. Dante Fowler finishes with 110 career sacks. Very good. I think that's a very good return from Dante Fowler. Onyemata, 56.5. I mean, was definitely a sleeper for us throughout this, and very nice to see that. Outside of that, I mean, we've kind of lost Shaq Barrett. I knew Shaq Barrett was always a little bit behind Dante Fowler, and I'm pretty sure he'd be retired by now, but respect to Shaq Barrett wherever he is. Let's look at the NFL records, see if we have anyone that, we'll just look at career, we're not going to fuck around with too much. See if anyone crazy has made these. All those quarterbacks look about where they need to be. Nice to see Drew Brees finally supplanted Mr. Peyton Manning for passing touchdowns. Again, no one really that surprising. Maybe Russell Wilson, now the quarterback of the Bills with 380 is a little surprising. Rushing yards, Emmitt Smith, Le'Veon Bell. Todd Gurley is there with 14,000. So a little ways to go there for Fournette. I think we'll be there on the touchdowns, though. Yes, we are. Looking at touchdowns, Zeke Elliott's here with 143. He probably will catch up when all is said and done. He has 1 year on Leonard Fournette. No, does he? Yes, he does. So I don't know if Zeke has enough in him to top Emmitt Smith, but probably should be able to get LT. But there we are with Leonard Fournette. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7th all-time. We're tied for 7th all-time with Devontae Freeman. 4 total rushing touchdowns. You know, I love him, man. I love him. Jerry Rice is there. We got Fitzgerald, Hopkins, Dez, Steve Smith Sr. Oh, no. Allen Robinson. Just a little bit short there with 12,000. What about touchdowns, though? You got Rice, Moss, Dez Bryant finished on 145 touchdowns. That's good for him. Oh, man, no one. Randall Cobb with 113. That's kind of surprising. In terms of catches, I mean, no one really surprising there. I mean, maybe Bolden with 1,000, over 1,000 for Anquan Bolden. Defensive sacks, we're just going to act like Bruce Smith doesn't exist. J.J. Watt finished with 170. Von Miller, 153. No one else really there. Interceptions, did anyone make their name? No one there as well. So nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. But I'm still proud of my team, guys. Still very proud of my team and everything that they've been able to accomplish. I'm going to say MVP, I'm going to have to give it to Leonard Fournette. I mean, he was exceptional. You know, the reason why we won the Super Bowl was because of Leonard Fournette. Even though our defense took a complete turnaround, we still have to throw it up to Leonard Fournette, really having one of the greatest playoff runs as a running back in NFL history. Let me know what you guys thought was your favorite player from the Huskies Connected franchise mode. I mean, thinking all the way back, you know, shout out to Brandon Allen, our first kind of quarterback. Even though he sucked, he played really well for us. I don't know if there's anything else really noteworthy that I can think of at this time. But thank you guys all for tuning in for the expansion franchise here of the Toronto Huskies on Beast Mode TV. We'll be returning at some point in Madden 18. Stay tuned for the coming week or so, where I'm going to kind of give a synopsis of what my plans and ideas are for Madden 18. I will be looking for some feedback on what I want to see. But that is for another video. So thank you guys for all your continued support throughout the Madden 17 season. If this is your first time stumbling upon this, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the series. And until next time, it is C4 saying peace